So what I want to talk about today is to give you a little bit of history of non-surgical decompression so you understand the power of this particular medical treatment. So the founder of non-surgical decompression was a doctor named Dr. Dyer. Now, Dr. Dyer was the Minister of Health in Canada. He's a very famous medical technological engineer. He created the atrial defibrillator, which is the shocker for the heart thing. But he also invented in 1985 non-surgical spinal decompression. You see, he was suffering from a back problem. He didn't want surgery. So he thought about the process of working to try and rehydrate the disc naturally. And that's exactly what he did. Now, over the years, they've advanced the technology, they've improved the engineering. As a matter of fact, just a year ago, there were some major advances that came out. So we get better and better at providing this procedure, and it's become more and more effective. There was a study done where they took over 100 patients who were scheduled for surgery, and they put them on the same protocols that we utilize here. And what they found is that 92% of those patients were able to cancel their surgery. This procedure is incredibly effective if the proper protocols are followed and if you as the patient do what you're supposed to do. So let me explain how this procedure works. When we take a look at the spinal disc, now this is a big model of the spine. These are the bones and this is the disc. These are the nerves that come out between the segments of the spine. When you take a disc and you look at it, it should be thick. It should be nice and spongy and resilient, and that's what we want is a nice healthy disc. You know, these two little sponges kind of represent that. Which disc do you want? Of course you want the big spongy one. The problem is that over time the disc can become very compressed. Now if you're here, you most likely have had an X-ray or an MRI and you've seen the term desiccation, or you've been told that your disc is thinned. It is mildly or moderately or severely decreased in its height. Well, this is what it starts to look like. And what I want to tell you is that every time you come in for a session here, each time you're on the non-surgical decompression device, it's like adding a drop of water to this structure. And each time you come in, each time we see you, it literally helps to rehydrate, to replenish, to revitalize. In non-surgical decompression, we use a term, it's called imbibition. And what that is that as we create that negative pressure inside the disc, it literally brings water and it brings oxygen and it brings nutrients into the disc where we literally will restore the functionality and the physiology of the disc. You know, the discs are only one of 3 tissues in the human body that get no blood supply. They get all their nutrients through movement. So as we walk and as we bend and as we move, there's natural movement. Well, that movement can be lost. When we lose that natural disc pump mechanism, that's when discs start to deteriorate and desiccate. So what non-surgical spinal decompression is working to do is to restore the natural disc pumping action. That's why it's so important, and I reiterated previously with you, to drink your water, get those nutrients, because as we work through this process of doing this device and having you receive this treatment, we want to bring the water, the oxygen, and the nutrients back into the disc so we can restore that disc to a nice, healthier, more functional, more vibrant structure. You know, fortunately, discs are an active tissue, which means they can heal. What we don't want is this. What we want is this. And if we can work to restore the height on that disc structure, if we can restore the vibrancy and the resiliency, then we can get you back to the healthy, functional activity and lifestyle that you want. So make sure you follow the procedures that you're being instructed by the physician. Make sure you give us feedback. Again, we don't want this to hurt. We want this process and this procedure to be comfortable. So make sure you're giving us plenty of feedback, and you have a great rest of your day.